Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to teach you about Cloud Connector. I hope you have liked my video and you have subscribed my channel, and thank you so much till date. You guys are giving me enormous love, and if you have not subscribed my channel, so please subscribe it. I will come with the topics time to time that will be helpful for your uh, SAP BTP learning journey. So let us start the topic Cloud Connector. So for the Cloud Connector, I'm going to the cloud. First of all, I will talk about what is a Cloud Connector. So Cloud Connector is a tool which, if you are going to connect your SAP BTP, if you need to connect your SAP BTP to S4HANA or any on-premise application, you need to have Cloud Connector. And this Cloud Connector is only used for inbound connections. No, for the outbound connection from S4HANA or any other application, you don't need Cloud Connector at all. The first thing is that, so this is, you need to understand it that only for the SAP BTP to S4HANA or any other third party application which is hosted on premise, if you need to connect that from SAP BTP for the inbound purpose, message will come from BTP to on premise, then only you need Cloud Connector. For the outbound purposes, you don't need any outbound connector. Fine. So now a question which is widely asked, that where this Cloud Connector should be installed. Explain you this. See, this is, you can see that in my video, this is on premise where your S4HANA is also hosted and other on premise applications are hosted. This is DMG, demilitarized zone. This is an independent machine which I have written IM, and this is your BTP cloud. Now the question is whether your Cloud Connector should be installed here in this blue area, that is on premise, or in DMJ, or at independent machine or BTP. So ideally Cloud Connector is installed on DMG, but again, means placing or installing that Cloud Connector at DMG will work, may or may not. Why I'm saying this may or may not? Because the prerequisite of installing Cloud Connector, in order to Cloud Connector to work, is that number one, you need, wherever this Cloud Connector is installed, that machine, that Cloud Connector should be reachable to S4 HANA or cloud on premise application, and it should also be that able to access the SAP BTP. Then only this will work. Cloud Connector connection will work. So whether you are installing in on premise some machine at on premise or in your DMG, it should, the Cloud Connector machine should able to connect to S4 HANA, number one S4 HANA and SAP BTP both. Now there is a question that can it be installed on an independent machine and uh, still we can connect with the BTP? Yes, the answer is yes. You can also install SAP on some independent machine, Cloud Connector, and you have to put that in VPN. And from that VPN, this should connect with S4 HANA as well as this should connect with BTP. As I said, the prerequisite of Cloud Connector is that wherever that Cloud Connector is installed, Cloud Connector should reach S4HANA and BTP. There is no specific guideline that where, how and where you install Cloud Connector. So keep that in mind. So this is a very basic thing to need to know about Cloud Connector. Fine. Now, once as I have told you that Cloud Connector uh, Cloud Connector installation, I will be explaining you now. So this is my remote desktop machine where I have installed my Cloud Connector, and this is my Cloud Connector. So once you install the Cloud Connector, the first thing you need to do is in the connector setting, you have to create. See, my is set up already. I'm just going to tell you what you need to do in order to set the Cloud Connector. So here you can see that you have this Cloud Connector. You have already logged in the Cloud Connector, and here first is that it will ask you select configure manually or configure using authentication data. So you can do both. Let's do configure manually, and here you have to select your BTP region. So let me select Europe, Frankfurt. Here you can see that you have to select BTP region. Then once you select the BTP region, it will ask for your sub account, which information you have, your login email, your BTP account email, your location ID. This location ID is and email ID and password in order to log into your uh, region and sub account. And then you have to provide all these information, email ID, password, and all, and then it will create, and it will look like this. So what is this IP? It is showing here. Let me show you. So here you can see that this IP is my Cloud Connector machine's IP. It will automatically pick up, and once your once you give the this will automatically pick up, and this will be your, this denotes that this machine ka IP, and your sub account and everything will be green. So you will see the connection status green. You can also anytime check that from your BTP machine the connection is working or not, and you can disconnect as well. And similarly, if you don't know those things, I have just as I have told you, so configure using authentication data, and then you will go next. Then you can also browse here and give the configuration file provided by SAP, and you can move ahead, or you can move that, you can do by this way. So once you do the cloud connector, set up the cloud connector, then you have to go to configuration. What is important in the configuration. So here you can see that cloud user interface is there, on premise is there, reporting is there, and advanced is there. So the important thing in regards to integration is that on premise. So here if you click on premise, so you will see that there are n number of certificates here provided, the CA certificate and all. So what are these certificates? As you can see, I've created here. So these certificates are your these certificates are there in S cert, S trust T code. So here in your S trust T code, if you see, there are various certificates are there. So their list of certificates are there already in the system. So all these certificates which is there in the standard, in the anonymous, fine, whatever certificates are there, these all certificates are imported under this on-premise. And you can see that these all our status is green, as these are valid certificate. So whatever certificates are there in S Trust, these are all valid certificates and available at my on-premise on in Cloud Connector. And what kind of certificate are these? These are X509 certificate. And how can you add that? So from here in your S Trust, what you have to do is that go to the certificate. You can right click here. Once you this, so all you have to do is to export the certificate. Export the certificate, and once the certificate is exported, you have to go here and add the certificate, X509 certificate. As you have seen that I've already downloaded and imported the certificates here. Then once these all certificates are green, you have to go to here in the second tab, sub account tab, and here in your sub account tab, you will see that your tunnel certificate is already created with the name of this. So why I am saying this as an tunnel is created? What is the meaning of this? The tunnel is created. So this is a secure tunnel. Once you connect your cloud connector with BTP sub account, so what will happen that your between your S4HANA cloud connector and SAP BTP cockpit, it will create a secure tunnel. So that secure tunnel means that means this will be a dedicated and secure tunnel, and this will work as a reverse proxy. So does it need whitelisting and all at firewall level? No. Once the reverse proxy works because you don't need to open your firewall. It will bypass the firewall. So let's come down here at, so here in this, now you have to go to cloud to on-premise, and here you can see that mapping virtual to internal systems is there. So before doing that, I'm telling you that in this cloud connector machine, there is a host file. You have to give all the S4 HANA machine IP address and virtual host name provided in the host file. So as you see, I've told you to see the host file. In the host file, I've done all the IPs and host name of my all my S4 HANA server or whichever server I want to connect. So once those has been done, what I will do that I will create connection for ABAP system, and then in the next step I will provide internal host name and port name. That is my S4 HANA or any other application which is hosted there. Those host name and port name will be there. Now, once you provide that internal host name or port name, let me just for showing purpose, I will show you. So virtual host and post will be, this can be same or different from your internal host name. But remember this virtual host and port name will be used in cockpit, BTP cockpit, when you are creating destination. And then here allow principal propagation. Then here the real picture. It is Kerberos. Use virtual host name or you want to use your internal host name, that's upon you. And then your SID. SID means your 3-digit uh, system ID of S4 HANA. Fine. So let me show you my already configured. So here I have chosen a web system protocol. I have chosen HTTPS hostname and port. I have chosen this internal host and port. For this internal host and port, where will you get it? This internal host and port. So this you will get in the SMICNT code. So for this, you need to go to the code SMICM, and in SMICM, you have to see that services, which services are running on which port. So here you can find out that HTTP, which services are running on which port, HTTPS or so. I've chosen here in the Cloud Connector HTTPS, that's internal host name which I referred from there in the SMICMT code and internal port, and then I written this certificate principal type X509 which I have already shown you, and virtual host, and this is your system ID. So I have connected this. Then once you create this system ID, according to each system ID, there will be a URL path which you have to configure. So this is very tricky. So here I've already configured the URL path which I'm going to show you in the edit mode. So here I've given it slash. Slash means makes it generic. For every HTTP or HTTPS call, that particular protocol, it will be a generic. After that, it can be anything, but it will pass, and you have to choose active. Then this is path only and path and subpath only. So if you want your URL to have a certain path only, exact path, matching path, so you have to choose path only. Otherwise, you have to put path and subpath only. My favorite is that choosing path and subpath, because with one protocol I just have to create one resource, and once my resource is created, what I will do, that go and do the setting at BTP Cockpit destination, and from there you can see that here the check result reachable or not reachable is there. So once this is reachable, it means that end to end your settings are working. So guys, with this I'm saying you thank you, and request you to like and subscribe my channel. Also, if you want some topics for which I create a video, you need to me to create a video. So please mail me or comment me in this video, and I will come up with that. Thank you guys.